Bear Battle Royale, last one standing wins. Koalas aren't bears. They don't meet the qualifications to be here, so they can see themselves out. Pandas can barely keep themselves alive, so they'll just fade into oblivion without anybody doing anything. These bears might make some noise in the regular season, but when it really counts, they'll just be turned into somebody's throw pillow in the playoffs. They may be black, but they ain't for the smoke. Matter of fact, they learned how to climb trees just to run away from FaZe, but there's no trees in the ring, so he's going to sleep. Now we getting to the real stuff. Sun Bear has powerful arms and large claws to help it climb trees and send ops to the clouds. They don't have that killer instinct though, they're actually naturally shy. And shy don't win no fights. Sloth bears are wildly aggressive and they will redecorate your face, no furniture. You watch Endgame, he knows to go for the head. Kodiak Bear. Not the rapper, but he will wrap you in his blunt after he smokes you. 1,200-pound Roy Puppy will personally deliver you to God's inbox with a postage stamp from Satan. Grizzly Bear comes in at number 2. Reference, please see Revenant. They got the strength, they got the size, they got the claws, and worst of all, they got the attitude. One bear can beat him and it's not Yogi. Pointer is this 1,400-pound homicidal overgrown coke puppy. Their fur may be white, but their skin's black because they're dressed for everybody else's funeral. Animal hybrids that we are going to regret. Somewhere in the world, a lion is piping the stripes off of a tiger. The result is this roided up jungle cat disgrace to nature called a liger. And when I tell you they have no business being this big, bro, this is Hercules. Grew to 11 feet long and weighed 920 pounds. Can't even blame God, this one's on us. Played God with cats and ended up with this. Fact, really sad fact, that trainer is one mood swing away from becoming a small picture in a newspaper. This is an obituary waiting to happen. Funny thing is, the opposite of a liger is a tigon, and they're actually smaller. Honestly, they shouldn't exist off principle. Neither should a growler bear, or a pizzly bear. Actually depends on who's getting dogged. If it's a polar bear that gets the grizzly glizzy, it's called a growler. If it's a grizzly getting the polar pipe, the baby's called a pizzly. Either way, it's a crime against nature. Call me old-fashioned, but I don't think the two most dangerous things in nature should be allowed to date. Guess what? This is our fault too. Climate change drives polar bears further and further from the regular hood. I guess polar bears are so down bad they have to settle for a different species, mixing their vanilla with their chocolate. If there's anything 2020 doesn't need, it's a homicidal coke puppy and angry forest roid dog having kids. Emus are the weirdest bird on the planet. First of all, these bush chickens are way too powerful. They're 6 foot, 100 pounds, and can outrun Usain Bolt at 30 miles per hour. They can jump 7 feet straight in the air. Like pick a flex, my G. Not to mention they have claws that could put a dingo next to Old Yeller. Plus, I gotta acknowledge the fact that the Australian military got memed by this thing. Those two guys with machine guns thought they were gonna turn this flightless bird into a bunch of feathery packs, but instead they got demoralized by a discount alcoholic big bird. How do you go home to your wife and children after getting beat by an outback ostrich? Not to mention they'll press you one-on-one like this. A lot of attitude from an animal that can easily become a $5 great value meal at KFC, like cool the disrespect. Sometimes they go too far in the other direction and catch feelings for humans. And I would rather get bicycle kicked by a cassowary than threatened with an emu erection. Speaking of which, this is what a horny emu does to impress somebody. Males are the ones in charge with raising and protecting the chicks, so if you get too close to them, you might get pressed by an aggressive emu daddy. I'm not saying they shouldn't exist because all birds matter. They really need to get nerfed in the next patch. This is by far the worst animal to be reincarnated as. Because the moment an octopus is spawned into the underwater jihad it calls life, it has to deal with all types of nonsense it never asked for. First, he's generated with 50,000 other eggs. Only about 2 will live to adulthood. The rest get erased for plot development. Like Nemo's family. Baby octopus has to somehow avoid getting deleted because everything in the ocean is an op. Large fish, eels, dolphins, and birds are just a few other things trying to put them on a shirt. Octopuses are incredibly smart, but they get a limited time to enjoy their intelligence because their lifespan can be a year or less. Because their life is a free trial that never gets extended. Not to mention climate change can cause octopuses to go blind due to a decrease in oxygen. Since there's no ocean optometrist, a blind octopus is a dead octopus. These 8-tentacled punching bags can't even enjoy the simple pleasures in life. Because male octopuses have to worry about getting choked out and eaten by their partners. It's so bad that some would rather hand over their penis like a phallic business card than risk getting 50 shaded. Once he loses a nut, he also loses the urge to live. Just float around and wait to die because this is the most lethal form of post-nut clarity. How much better if you're a female? They'll spend months taking care of her eggs without eating once. By the time they hatch, they're already orphans that either have to fend for themselves or join her in the afterlife. God has favorites and they're not one.
Damn right I'm thick. Thick of not being appreciated.
Thicker than a Snicker and wider than Godiva. But this is because seals have a layer of blubber that helps them trap heat. It's great because the Weddell seal is literally born into Satan's refrigerator. Because the difference of being inside their mother and being born is a hellish 169 degrees. How are they so thick? They literally get it from their mama. Because while cow milk is 3% fat, seal milk is 60%. Heart attack in a carton for us is a way of life for them. Did you know the largest seal in the world is the southern elephant seal? Measurements include 20 feet long, 9,000 pounds, an awkward call to your car insurance company. You think they're covered for this? Seals can sleep with half their brain awake. Like me in lecture hall. This means they can nap in the ocean without accidentally gulagging themselves. Also, you'll never guess who their cousins are. As pinnipeds, they're closely related to bears, weasels, and raccoons. Like all these guys, they're carnivores. Meaning if you leave your daughter unattended, you might just go home with one less child. I know this was a sea lion, but the joke still works. Don't worry, Thick Seal, I appreciate you. Can we get a Thick Seal in the comments, please? Here's some animals that lost a genetic lottery. Proboscis monkey. His claim to fame is having a flaccid form of genitalia on his face. I'm not even sure why they evolved such an outrageous extremity. Scientists believe it makes them more attractive to females. I feel like nature could have accomplished that without giving them a nose that makes them look like they just got done telling SpongeBob to go fuck himself. Also, they have a beer belly and a penis that looks like a lipstick dispenser. It's gotten to the point where some people believe they're too ugly to be worth conservation, which is discrimination in the highest order. Next, a stock-eyed fly. It honestly looks like a sick joke. This fly literally evolved a handicap because there's no way this is an advantage. White tigers. Cool to look at, but looking like an equality symbol in a jungle is a death sentence. It's cause they can't camouflage or sneak on prey, so in this case being white is actually a disability that causes them to starve to death. The worst thing to be if you're a tiger is a Caucasian tiger. You probably know where this is going. Don't let that censor bar fool you, this is actually a female. You can tell they're not God's favorite because they have to squeeze out their progeny through a penis. Not only can this kill first-time mothers and turn their children into instant orphans, but sometimes the process of gaining life actually puts the little hyena cubs on shirts, like entering life through a revolving door.